right, welcome back to Go Ham. Today we have a very special guest, Marissa.
Hi.
So just want to preface this by saying this is going to be a 2-part series we're going to do around salon suites and commission salons. So what we're doing is we're bringing on Marissa, who was in a suite, who is now with our salon company, and the next part of this series will be opposite. It'll be somebody who worked for our company and other commission salons, and then is now independent in our suites.
But what's interesting about Marissa is she was originally in a salon, and then went to a suite, and then back to a salon.
Yep.
Journey.
Little commission salon sandwich.
All right, cool. So why don't you just prep us by letting us know about how you got here, a little bit about your career path, how you got into the industry, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I started out in a salon. I was there for 9 years, a regular salon. And at that time, I decided that I wanted to have a baby. So I thought that I would kind of shift my gears a little bit. I just wanted a little bit more like flexibility schedule wise. I wanted to be able to schedule my own clients. I knew that there was going to be a lot of days where I maybe needed off because we were doing IVF. So I wanted to just kind of like take charge of my own schedule. So I sat down with my husband and we chatted about it, and I just decided that I was going to leave the salon and go to a salon suite. It was not anything personal. I feel like a lot of people think it's like this something happened. It's such a personal. I'm like, it was not personal at all. I actually was really good friends with my old bosses, so It wasn't. So I left and I went to a salon suite, and I was there for 5 years. And now my daughter's in school, so I felt like now I didn't really need the suite anymore. Like it served its purpose for what I needed it for. And then I chatted with Alexis for like 2 years. I feel like she wanted me to come to Privé, and I was like, I'm not ready. I just like don't want to break away yet. And then it finally came to a point where I was like, I'm ready. I need the change. Sadie's going to be going to school now. And then I met with you, and I decided to come back to a salon.
So back up. You actually went to a suite before you had a baby? Mm-hmm. That's ballsy as shit.
Well, one reason why I probably came back to a salon, I do not recommend it if you're planning on going on maternity leave.
I was going to say, I feel like that's like the opposite mindset. But we were not
even, hindsight, like, you lose a lot of people kind of like when you go on maternity leave. So like you need to be like secure in a suite. Like your book needs to be like solid. And I had a good book, but like you still lose a lot of people with maternity leave. And then throw COVID into the mix. We weren't even there a year before COVID hit.
Oh, well, yeah.
And there was like, salons were kind of like secretly still like doing people's hair. So like I lost people that way too. I was like, no, I'm not coming to your house in your backyard. Like doing your hair. Yeah. So
So this was it. So it was 2019 that you did this. Is that right? So, if COVID was 2020.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019.
All right.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you feel like would have changed your mind, or you just like knew you had to like try this out?
No, I was pretty in that moment like this is the right decision for me and my family. Like I didn't regret it. I still don't regret it. It was a great experience. But in that moment, no, there was really nothing that anyone could say or do that was going to like change my mind. And it was hard because I had like real friendships at my old salon. Like I didn't miss leaving the salon. I missed that I was going to be like leaving all the people.
Right.
But I was like okay with leaving the salon.
Okay.
And going out on my own. Well, I went with my friend Colleen. We did it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a double suite or? Okay.
Yeah, we did.
I think that makes it easier too when you have somebody to go out with and you can do it together.
Yeah.
You guys were at the same salon together.
We were.
So you guys did it together.
We were both at the same salon. Yeah. And
hold on, did one of you guys leave before, or did you leave at the same time? You went
so
first?
we were supposed to be leaving at different times. Our old boss like kind of like found out that they had a feeling that she was like kind of leaving. She wasn't prepared to leave for like another like couple weeks.
Okay.
But then we ended up having to kind of do it at the same time.
All right.
So she was kind of thrown into that.
Yeah. Understood. I know how that can go too. That's
difficult.
difficult.
I mean, it was understandable. I mean,
You were saying that you lost a lot of your clients when you left the salon and went to a suite. Like, how much, like...
No, I didn't lose any clients really when I left. I lost clients from COVID and maternity leave.
Oh,
I didn't,
okay.
like, basically maybe 4 people didn't follow me, but my
Wow,
whole
so
book
your whole
came
book
with me.
came with you?
Yeah, I was,
Wow.
like, fully booked at one point in my life.
Well, let's talk about this though. You were behind a chair at a commission salon for how long?
9 years.
9 years there,
So
yeah.
you had 9 years worth of building
Yes.
a business.
Yeah.
You were really strong when you decided to do this. Okay.
Yes, you can't. I don't recommend it if you're like, somebody tried to do
Just
it when they were like
starting
just
out.
starting out, and I was like, I don't know what, that was ballsy of you. But yeah, no, I wouldn't do it unless you like had like a good book.
So I think that like just in my experience in the past few years and kind of watching what has happened in the industry, I think that there's different phases that you're in your career, right? So like one would be the building phase, right? Where we get into it when we first get out of school, when we get on the floor. Then sometimes we get back into that after maternity. You know, like you lose some people and now I'm building again. We've watched this happen within our salon companies where people, you know, they've had really strong books and then for whatever reason, they're back to a building phase.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important to know about where you're at in your business because that's where like your pricing matters, your schedule matters. Like there's been times where we've recommended for people to consider working Saturdays again if you're in a building phase because that's when new clients are coming in. And I think that that's really important when it comes to going independent, that you're not in a building phase, that you have a really strong business.
There is no building, I feel like, in a suite at all. Like your clients are your clients, and you might get a couple referrals here and there, but like not anything like being in a salon where they're pretty much just like thrown at you. Like all these new people are just like in your book. Like it's really hard to get new clients in a suite.
Okay.
So you did the suite thing for 4 years or 5?
5.
And then -1 because of COVID?
Yeah,
you
like
lost about half a year at
whatever, however many months we were out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then...
Question about that. Did
Yeah.
you still owe rent?
At first, yes, and we were like, what? Like, that's crazy. Because you weren't technically qualified for unemployment because you were like an owner or like whatever.
You're 1099. You're
Yeah,
not a W-2.
so like we weren't allowed to get unemployment. They changed it and turned it into like called it something else.
Well,
and then
wait. When you
eventually
are a
we
suite
were.
owner, you're not a 1099.
It's
You're not a sub.
it's like
You're
a Schedule C or something
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
you're legit.
But like they consider you like
Like
an
an LLC.
independent, like an owner, yeah, like an LLC.
There was definitely loopholes though that you could have
Yeah,
gotten,
so
like,
they ended up calling it
grants
something else,
and-
and then we were able to get unemployment. It just took like
Yeah.
a month, so we
Yeah.
had a month of like nothing, no income, nothing. The owner of the suites ended up changing her mind and said that we didn't have to owe rent.
Okay.
But we were like, we found out that she didn't owe rent, so we were like, well, you can't charge us. You're not in.
Oh.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we ended up not having to pay rent.
Got it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because 2020 was when we decided to open suites
Oh, that's funny.
because we were actually at a conference in Florida and I can remember seeing it was just starting in China. Like we were seeing it on the news and we're like, what is this? It was like February or March, I think, maybe even January.
it was
It
January.
was February.
It
No,
was?
we were in Palm Beach in January.
I think it was January.
It was the end of January.
So when
went
we
to that.
came home, then it started hitting, and that it like kind of was like a perfect storm because we were
Yeah.
just away for this event that was like pushing us to evolve and grow our business,
Yeah.
and then COVID happened, and we're like, wow, there's this insane pull to be independent, to have these private studios, and we're like, this is the sign we needed to do it.
To be an
March-
owner,
again.
smartest decision. The people that own these suites, great decision. It's a constant turn. I mean, you're constantly having people that want to do it.
Yeah.
There was so many people that were in and out of our suites, but like there's still people that want to come in. Like it's
Yeah.
always going to be there. Like I don't think it's going to like go away. The people might not be in there for 10 plus years, but then you're getting new people, and every time new people come in, you raise your prices. So it's like great for like the owners, I feel like.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Like we're never getting out.
Back to that timeline. I if I remember right, I think it was March 15th when we officially had to shut doors.
Yeah, because Joey's birthday.
Oh yeah, I remember that day.
Because then I delivered Madison in April, and it was like right in the thick of everything. So
Marissa, talk to us about the financials. So going from commission salon paycheck
Yep.
to I'm opening this, what did that financial situation look like for you?
At first, it was amazing. Like, obviously, I knew that there was going to be expenses. like product, rent, all of that. But because I had such like a good book, it didn't really matter at that moment. I was still making a lot. Like I was still bringing in a lot. So, I mean, I don't know if we're talking like actual numbers, but like I was paying myself with like $3,000, and that's like that was a lot for me. Like my paychecks every 2 weeks were like anywhere between 25 and 3,000.
Wow. Plus
tips, and that was like after what I paid. But then COVID happened, and then maternity leave happened, and then that's kind of when it all started to like the numbers started like dropping, and then I felt like everything went up, prices for product, everything was like skyrocketed, and then I felt like I had less and less and less money to kind of like take home.
Yeah.
To the point where I feel like it was like my paychecks went down to like, I think I was paying myself like $900. So that was like a big shift.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So hold on, I have a question about your maternity leave. So then you went out on maternity leave. Now, what did you do with all your clients that you?
Colleen,
I was
my
going to
partner.
say, did Colleen take?
Took them off.
She had
Which
more
she
shifts.
only worked through. No, like she might have like here and there, but she only worked 3 shifts, and she was busy herself. But God bless her, she's a good friend. She took on my old clientele.
So then when you were back in the suite, they all came back to you.
Yes, they all came back to me. Now, the people that were going to stay with me, I mean, I did lose some people that maybe couldn't get in with Colleen or whatever, and they went somewhere else. And that happens. I mean, you just find somebody else with a better schedule or like whatever, and they're like, I think I'm going to just stay with them.
What did your schedule look like in the suite?
Before I went on maternity leave, I worked as much as I possibly could. I think I was there Tuesday through Friday, and I was there like 10 hours every day.
Oh my God.
And then when I came back from maternity leave, I think I went down, it was my schedule now, just Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I think I did every other Wednesday.
And when you were in the salon before opening, what was your schedule like?
I was, at the level I was at there, I believe I was also 3 days a week.
Okay.
1 12-hour and like 2 6s or something like that.
So you were working more in the suite than you were in the salon.
I was working more in the suite.
All right.
So when you went into the suite, did you up your prices or did you keep your pricing the same?
No, I didn't. And I should have. I should have upped them. I had just gotten a level jump at my old salon, so my prices kind of already were going up.
Okay.
So then I was like,
gotcha.
I don't want to raise them again.
Yeah.
But I
Talk to us about.
Well, why? Why do you say that?
Yeah.
Why should I have?
Yeah.
I just feel like because now that you're like on your own and you're doing everything yourself, like, and the product was just so much more, I just felt like I should have raised them a little bit.
Okay.
My blow dries were like nothing. Like I really should have like upped them a little bit.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people that I talked to that are in suites, they were like, oh, we all upped our prices when we went to the suite. And I was like, I think I lowered my prices.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but I totally, like, I understand your perspective on that too, because I feel like, you know, anytime there's a change, and we talked about this on one of the episodes, like anytime there's a change in someone's business, and maybe that's I'm raising my prices, or I'm working with an apprentice now, or I'm going out of maternity, or I'm moving to a different salon, like that's disrupting whatever experience your clients used to having.
Yeah.
And I think that when you then add, okay, I'm raising my prices, in addition to that, it's one more like factor that that person might be like, you know what? I think I'm going somewhere
and that's
else.
That's exactly. I was like, I'm already changing so many things. So I just didn't change them.
So talk to us about the workload. So you said that you were working 40 hours and 40. So 4 10-hour shifts on top of that. So now you're doing all your clients in those days. What else was it like? Like scheduling clients, doing your inventory, like all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I was only physically working 4 days a week, but I was working 7 days a week because like everyone's texting you on the weekend. I didn't allow people to book online because I just feel like people don't know what they get, and then it would just kind of mess everything up. I mean, I still was double booking because we were in a double suite, and me and Colleen didn't always work together, so I would use her station.
Yeah.
So your phone is constantly going off. You're constantly making appointments. You're going in on your days off to do inventory. You're scheduling doing your products on your day off, going in and putting your orders. So like I was there like all the time.
Yeah. So essentially you left the salon because you wanted flexibility with your schedule, but then you ended up taking on way more than what you thought you were going to.
But I think because it was like mine, I didn't
you didn't
mind
even
as
notice
much.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I cared as much. But yeah, you're like the jack of all trades. You're like doing the laundry. You're like, you know,
Exactly.
putting all your products away. You're shampooing everyone. You're sweeping. You're cleaning at the end of the night. Like you're doing it all.
So then you decided to go back to when you came back from maternity. Then that was when like, the number started to dip, and then you were like, "I need to go back to
so
a
the numbers
salon."
started to dip, and then it also was still kind of like COVID. So like all the product prices were going up, and it just was like, oh, okay, this is getting a little bit like out of my comfort zone of like where I was prior to COVID, and then I just felt like I wasn't as busy as I was, and I just like noticed how much more money I was putting out and not really getting back anymore.
Yeah.
But I did it for I was there 5 years. I did it for a couple more years.
Yeah.
But I just kept putting myself more and more in like the hole. I felt like I was spending like way more than I think I was bringing in.
All right. Well, here's a question for you: if the numbers weren't dipping and they were still the same, would you still be in a suite today? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Why?
It's so hard to explain. Like it was just perfect for the time that I was in my life.
Okay.
Like I said, like wanted to have my now daughter, and everyone's like, owners are great. Like it wasn't like personal. Like, did I think I could go to my old boss and be like, I need this off. I need that, like, probably because she
flexibility,
like understood with IVF, like there's no control. Like I have no control over it. But did I want to do that? No. I feel like I was like a bird. Like I didn't want to be like a bird on anyone else, and I didn't want to like, oh, I have to cancel my day today because they told me I have to come in and do like my transfer. Like I just wanted to be able to have flexibility of my schedule myself and not have to like go ask for permission. Gotcha. So it was perfect for the time that I needed it for, but like I missed being like around people. Like I would find myself, if it was like slower, popping into like other people's suites. I'm like, how you doing?
Well, you're such a sociable person, and like even just with our salon, you bring so much to our break room alone. The stories and hearing your laugh and everything. Like you probably were lonely.
So loud.
I think that's one of the main attractions to working in a salon is just the people and the community feel, the culture, the
camaraderie.
I think that's probably the biggest thing, because I even, the girls that are down at the suites now, which we stay in touch with, I feel like every time I see them, they're like, I miss the break room. Like I miss seeing you guys, and that's the truth. Like it is nice. There's something positive about walking into a space that has other people in it and you can share it, like a shared community, which I do think suites have that. It's just not quite as, extensive as what you get in a salon.
Yeah.
So I get that. Is that what, besides the financials, what are the things that, like when you say that you probably wouldn't be in a suite right now, what are the other things that were drawing you to back to a commission salon?
I just missed being, I mean, yes, you're around people in a suite, but it's not the same. Like there's walls, you know what I mean? Like my biggest thing for me is I feel like I miss being around other people. Like I missed interacting with other people's clients. Like I had really good relationships with other people's clients at my old salon. Like I feel like I just talk to everyone. Like I'm just like
you are.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know what you would call me, but I'm just social, I guess, and I missed that. Like I didn't think that I could see myself forever just in like a box, kind of, if you want to put it like that.
I have a question, and this is going back to finances. Were there anything that you went in there, like obviously I'm sure you've done your research and you knew what you were getting into. Did you have any hidden surprises when you got there?
I didn't really know what I was going into. I was like, I'm leaving and I'm just gonna go do it. I did no research.
Give this a whirl and see if it works.
I was like, yeah, this sounds great.
Good. Yeah. No, but honestly,
I didn't know anything about it.
Was there any point where you're like, oh my God, like, is this serious? I got to pay this now? Or like there's a hidden expense anywhere?
I don't know if it was necessarily like hidden, but I guess, this might just be like, really? You didn't know that? But like, I guess I didn't realize like how much the rent every year goes up.
Yeah.
So in our contract, it was like, it could go up to 10% a year. And like, she could just pick whatever number she wanted and not tell us what it was. Yeah. So it was always like every year when we were waiting for like our renewal, we were like,
what's it gonna be this year? And
What's the
she
turn-
only ever
wait.
did 3%, but like in our contract, it
3%'s
was
a
like.
lot.
It
But
is.
what
It
was the
was
turnover like in those suites? If she had that in her contract,
No,
that she
there
could up
was
at 10%.
there was a lot of in and out. There was
gonna say,
the
there's
first
no way.
year, a lot of people didn't make it,
Okay.
and then there was a lot of people like in and out. I think maybe now it's probably better. Like I mean, we were there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of us that made like the 5-year mark, and then like a lot of people started to like leave.
Okay.
The thing with the suites is like I don't see it being long term for certain stylists because in 10 years, what is your rent going to be every week? A $1,200? Like I just don't see that being like feasible.
Yeah, I think
to, like,
there's
obtain.
like 2 reasons to be in a suite. Like one being like your situation where like you wanted to use it to get through a period of your life, and then the other is like as a stepping stone to like something bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like if you're not doing that,
Yeah.
then what's really the point?
Yeah,
I
agree.
will say I think suites are really good for people that are just like, this is just like my extra income fund money. Like it didn't like even if it was like $5,000 that they made, it was fine because it was
Yeah.
just like their extra like money where
Yeah.
it didn't really like
I agree
matter.
with you on that, and I feel like there's somebody at our suites that it just like makes me think like, you know, he kind of did his thing with his business his whole life. He ran his own salon. He worked in a salon. Like this is just fun for him now.
This is stepping stone
Yeah, this
to
is
retirement.
just this is just like I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill some
Yeah.
time. I'm not ready to throw the towel in yet.
Yeah.
but-
And I'm not
if I-
discrediting
yeah.
the people that are in a suite that don't want to like eventually open a salon, but like big picture, you know, like what's going to happen in 10 years,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, listen, there are people that are making, I give them credit, like they're making 100,000 plus and
Right.
amazing. I clearly didn't know how to like do whatever they're doing because I just went into it kind of blind and I was like, this is going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Back to
I
the
think it's
financial
smart,
question though.
that you did that just to kind of like get through the period of your life.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact that you didn't want to be a burden, like that's so sad to
Yeah.
hear. But I feel like a lot of us are that way. Like,
No,
we just
yeah,
want
and
to.
like I didn't like that's like not even like a dig at them. Like it was just me. That shit.
Yeah.
That was just like me. Like I just didn't want to have to be like I need off again
Or like have special treatment.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Back to financials. How was it for you with taxes when tax season came?
So I will say that that was something that I was really smart about.
Okay,
I
good.
put 30% away every
Wow.
week.
Super smart.
Yep.
Because I had no idea what like
Yeah.
quarterly, and I did them quarterly, so I didn't wait till the end of the year. I paid quarterly.
that's
So
great.
every quarter, I went to my accountant, send her all my numbers, deductions, or whatever, and then she told me what I owed, and I usually always had like money left over.
That is so key. I think for anybody that's in a suite, you
Yeah.
need to be doing something like that and having a great accountant.
Well,
Yeah.
I will say there was like one girl that worked there, and she was like, "Oh, I don't put anything aside for taxes because I can." I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. That's going to be like a rude awakening. I feel like at the end of the
Teresa
year,
Giudice.
you're going to owe like, yeah, right? You're going to owe like $20,000.
Yeah, she's probably on a payment plan with the IRS right now.
But something that I will say that kind of, I mean, it truly sucked is that before I did a suite and I was in a regular salon and my husband was just at like a job where we were both W-2s. We didn't get any money back after our taxes. Like he stopped getting money back because it was like the business. And I was like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like he was
usually-
used to
that
getting
usually
back
what
like
happens.
a couple grand.
Yeah.
And he
It is.
never did. And I didn't really realize.
Like, your accountant
Yeah.
sucks. Why are we
Wait,
stop getting money
no.
back? I'm like, no, this is just.
Oh my
what
God, that's
business
what my
owning
husband
is
would
like.
say too. He was like, we're switching accountants. I'm like, I don't think. He's like, it's going back into your business. I'm like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we did switch accountants and we did end up getting money back the 1 year that I still technically was a suite. He basically was like, oh, you have all these other deductions that you could have been doing that you weren't doing the past however
Right.
many years. So we did get a little bit money back, but yeah, it was like kind of like a shock to him.
Talk
It was
to
a
us
shock to
about-
me when we first opened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like, you're not getting money back and you owe us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you
PTSD
mean I
had
owe
from that
you?
first year.
I know.
I was like, I'm sorry. You want me to pay you with what? Like,
Yeah. No, I know.
I don't have any money.
I didn't
to
even
give
get
you.
paid, but I still owe you.
I couldn't imagine not putting the money aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
that
did.
was so
A hard lesson I
genius.
learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talk to us about like your guests. So I want to know, how did your guests feel about going from like the salon environment to the suite and then the suite back to the salon?
So going from the salon to the suite, a lot of my people loved the idea of it. They don't like being around a lot. Like some people were like, I think it's more cozier being in like the suite, or like
People ate it up after COVID.
was gonna
They
say,
all
well,
wanted
yeah,
to.
the-
They all
the
wanted to be in
COVID
suites.
advantage.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? People
the
were like,
world,
you're
yeah.
not going to double book, right? Because I just kind of like being here by myself. I'm
Yeah.
like, are you paying my bills? Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Yeah.
double booking. Like, are you
Sure,
not?
I could charge you double if
Yeah, I
you'd
was
like.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want to take up 2 spots? I'll
You
charge
can double mask.
Yeah. So a lot of them loved it. And then, but then there were things that I feel like, you know, I was shampooing them, and not to toot my own horn, I'm like pretty good at giving a shampoo, but like I wasn't giving like the best experience because I'm like, I have 3 other people here and I'm like
Yeah.
running over, watching them, putting their color on. Hold on, I have to put their glaze on. Hold on, I have to start their blow dry. So like they probably weren't getting like the full, like there definitely was no luxury experience
Yeah.
in
Okay.
the suite like we do at Privé, but a lot of people like loved it. And then when I was going from the suite back to a salon, then I feel like a lot of people were like, loved that. Like
Yeah.
then they were like, all right, we missed this or
Yeah.
this. So I haven't had anyone that was like, I miss being in the suite.
Did you have anybody not come with you back to the salon?
Like 4 people.
Okay.
It was just like people that were, there's people that don't like change.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good you are at doing their hair. I feel like they just don't like change. And I had 2 people that were like, I live across the street and I just really like coming here. I'm like, that's great. I will set you up with so-and-so and so-and-so. Because my partner, Colleen, ended up leaving and going to a different suite closer to her house. So she wasn't really like an option for me to send clients to. So I just set her up with other people and it was great. And I'm pretty sure they still go there.
That's awesome. That's
Cool.
But I didn't have that many people that didn't come with me.
Tell me this about the suites. How was the camaraderie between you and the other suite members? Was everybody kind of cool, got along well, or were there certain scenarios where there was like a
competition.
little bit of drama?
So it's funny because the way that the suites were like set up, I was in the front and then there was like a whole back section. It's funny, I don't really know who was in the back. Like, cause I feel like all the front people were like friends. And then like, I never had to really go back there. So I'm like, I didn't even know half of the people that were like in the back, but I was really close with like a lot of the front people.
Yeah.
So
How many suites were there?
30.
Oh wow.
Actually 38 because when I went on maternity, I think they bought the place next door and they opened up like 8 more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. That's big.
38 suites and only 2 bathrooms.
And they were all occupied?
So that was a problem. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was like a complaint.
Okay.
And there was only like 2 washer and dryers for 38 suites.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah, that's
my
tough.
goodness.
Yeah.
Like any
not
like
really.
people who didn't get along or anything like that.
Not that I'm like aware of. Like everyone
Okay.
was pretty like friendly and cordial. I mean, there was 2 people that like worked together that had to separate. I don't know what happened there. But,
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
I feel
Other
like
than
when you go
that,
to the
no.
suite, you're literally just going there to work, get your day done, and be
Yeah.
out. I don't feel like there's much like hanging out. And
Yeah. I mean, we would try every once in a while. I would like go to like PJ's or something, but like
stuff. Yeah.
I was like, I need to go home.
Yeah. I'm a mom now.
Yeah, I'm
Gotta
like,
go in and get
I
out.
gotta get out of here. You go to bed.
One thing that I think I just want to talk about is the reasons. Like, tell me this about somebody who might be super successful in a suite that is thriving, they're growing, their business is continuing to, grow each year. What are the things that you think they're doing? Like, what's the secret sauce?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I mean, because I would love to have not have been in debt for however many years.
Well, tax planning one.
know.
They
I
definitely have
mean-
their tax planning under control.
Maybe they were better at social media. Like I sucked. I never did social media. Like I was terrible at it.
Well,
My
you had no
pictures were terrible.
time. You were literally
I
like-
know. I seriously.
Yeah.
Maybe they're good at that, like promoting themselves better. Maybe they just kept a better book because maybe they didn't go on maternity leave yet. Or I think that I would have had like a lot more clients if COVID and maternity leave didn't happen. Those 2 things kind of happened back to back, and then I lost. So I think it was like 25 people.
Okay.
I count it.
I got to be honest. I think from my perspective, and I think that I just know what I know at this point about marketing. And I think that is probably the number one reason why people are like massively successful in a suite. And maybe like I think there's a couple things, like maybe you're an extension specialist and you have a huge demand.
Yes.
Or maybe you are just really good at marketing yourself and you have a phenomenal Instagram and a wait list of people trying to get in.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a way that you could probably really continue to grow your business. But I think for someone who's not fully committed to marketing and social media and growing and continuing to get new guests, I think
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest issues in our industry in general is
Yeah.
that people, they hit a point where they feel really busy and really good and they think it's cool. Like, all right, I'm good. I'm coasting now. But the matter of fact is you're losing guests, you know, for whatever reason. They might be moving. They might have babies. And, you know, their hair is just no longer a priority. Or, you know, it's not in the budget anymore. They're going to someone else. They're spacing their appointments. There's lots of reasons why your business behind the chair can change. And I think if you're not actively really pushing to continue to grow your business, it's going to be difficult at some point to survive in a suite.
Yeah.
And I think that when you and I sat down and chatted, I think some of the reasons that we decided that this was going to be a good fit was because of the support you were going to get from a commission salon.
Right.
You know, we were able to, you know, help you regrow your business.
I
And
mean, there's like a
rebuild.
security there.
Yes.
There's the security of being in a salon. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you're in a suite, you have to pay your rent. Like it doesn't matter. Like even if you have bad weeks or whatever, like it's on you. Like if you're in a salon, I just feel like there's just more support there to help you or help you get new clients or
sure.
whatever.
Well,
So-
marketing and like just basic fundamentals of like building your book. So like rebooking your clients, like you don't have somebody there like saying, oh, like you have to have this percentage of rebooks.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's what I was going to say, the coaching and mentoring piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no, there's none of that. Yeah.
It's
and
like,
I'm sure a lot of suite owners don't sell retail, but like they don't know like that's their biggest like profit margin to support, like to pay their rent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
like we had retail, but it was literally just to be like,
I have stuff.
exactly.
Here's my stuff.
Like we did sell stuff, but
Yep.
like it would mostly be like, oh, you need me to order you something? I can
Yeah.
order it for you.
Right.
Like, but that was something. I mean, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but I got a little excited at one point because I felt like I was like, the pressure is
So
off a little
no,
bit.
this is actually, this is ultimately like, this is one of the biggest, I would say, driving factors for, you know, people who do pursue a suite, at least like from people that we've lost to the suites. I think that,
yeah, they don't want.
I think that they were
don't-
kind of
yeah.
sick of being like, you know, coached and mentored and, you know, this is how we operate.
Yeah.
Our business is this way. And there's times where people are like, listen, like, I don't want to care anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to do that. I want to do hair and I want to be done and I want to, you know, I want to be done
Yeah.
with my day. And I understand that. But then I think that there is an opportunity where, you know, like, for instance, like you feeling like, well, I kind of like the support right now. It's different seasons of life.
Yep.
And, you know, I think that is essentially one of the driving factors as to why someone might choose to leave a commission salon and go to a suite.
I think what was hard product wise for me, where I felt relief leaving the salon and then
Yeah.
going to the suite, is because we a lot of the times were selling, and you had to hit these numbers, but then we were like, couldn't find it in our paycheck. Like we were like, where is it? Like where's like the part that we're supposed to be getting from it? And we
Okay.
couldn't like ever find it like in our, like it was never like where to go.
Yeah.
So we were like, why are we, you were like promised something and then we would like hit, like do it, but then where did it, like where is it?
Okay. So
So then I think a lot of people were like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So this is what like we've talked about a lot about the retail and how we bonus the bonus structures and how sometimes when it's, you know, a $50 bonus or a $100 bonus, it's kind of overseen, like out of sight, out of mind. Okay, maybe I have 50 or $100 in my paycheck, but we've talked about exploring it where we announce it like at our meetings, like,
Yeah.
oh, Marissa accrued $750 in bonuses this quarter, or
Yeah. But at least I could find it.
yeah.
Well, that
Like
I
I,
think it's
might
important.
not always check my paychecks for like where the bonuses are, but like if I wanted to, I
You know
did.
it's gonna be there.
Like
Yeah.
I saw it.
I
Like,
also think it's really important though for team members to know like what they're looking for because
Yeah.
there's different like scales and stuff, and I think if they don't understand, I mean, I've had so many come to me and they're just like, I don't understand. Like
well, when
where,
I first started, I came to you. I was like,
Yeah.
explain the paycheck
Yeah.
and how do I figure it out?
So I
Because
had
I
a
am
show.
somebody that likes
Yeah.
to get
Right.
down to like, okay, this is the right number.
it's perfect.
So I was
love
like,
that.
tell me how you guys do it
Yeah.
because I don't know.
Yeah, one thing I want to go back to that you had said that I think is important for somebody that's on the fence of leaving a salon and going to a suite, and you just made a comment and it just like sparked a light bulb in my head, which I kind of knew, but I think it's important to say it. If you have a bad week in a salon, you just have a bad week. But like if you have a bad week in a suite, you have a bad week plus you got to still pay.
Yeah.
Like
Bad month.
it's a
Turned
lot
into
because
a
now
month.
you lost your money that week.
Yeah. And it's not as simple as running on Instagram and being like, 12 o'clock opening tomorrow. Nobody's
Right,
coming.
and now you got to
you
come
already-
out of
like,
pocket
there's
to
no-
come up
yeah.
with rent. And
Marissa, question.
Yeah.
What was the defining moment that you had that you were basically like, you know what, it's time that I consider something else?
Yeah, and how did you like navigate that? Were you like,
So it was probably a 50th phone call with Alexis. I was on the phone with her. She was really pushing for me to come.
So funny.
why would she
mean,
want her bestie right next to her?
It's
in the
funny, we don't
salon?
even work together now.
I know.
We don't
I'm
even
dying
work
because
together.
I remember when you first started working for us, we were like at an event and it was all of us. I think it was like the bag bingo. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
were, like,
That was my
sitting
first
there,
day.
And she like turned around. She's like, "Will someone get her at a different table because she asked me one more question about
Oh my
pre-vamp
god!
and I lose
Yes,
my mind."
I know. I was like, "This is
She's
your
like,
fault."
"I'm out having fun. Leave me
Oh
alone."
my god, I know that was so. It was that was my first day that I worked at
Yeah, it
Privé,
was,
and I was like asking her all these questions. She's like, "Leave me alone. Like
Oh my
we are
God.
trying to have fun." I'm like,
And then you were
"I'm
like,
sorry."
"Okay, so but
that's
just answer
where-
that question
that's
for
just
me."
where my brain goes though. Like I
Yeah.
get like really like into
I
it. It
love
was
it.
so funny. But yeah, I think that I was having a moment and like I called her and we were just like talking and like whatever she said to me kind of just I finally was like,
Oh, come on. You got to remember what she said. This is so
it
important.
really wasn't
Well,
even
also-
Because
anything
whatever
like
she said
you
is what
said-
sparked you to
When
like.
you said you were having a moment, what was the moment? Was
Just
it the
like
type of thing where you like
anxiety. Honestly, it was anxiety. It was just like
it
my
over-
credit card was just like kind of like piling up because the
Debt.
money just wasn't there to like pay the things that I had to pay.
was it a combination of like your book wasn't looking as healthy as it
I was like,
and
this
your
is not fun anymore. Like this was like, I missed doing all the hair and people that I used to see in a day, and like it just like wasn't the same. So I think it was a combination of both. It was like the clients or just not being as busy, and then just like the money, because like you obviously have to pay everything before you pay yourself. And when the paychecks were like
Well, now you're in the mindset of a business owner.
Yeah.
Everybody else has to get paid before you pay
Yes,
yourself.
and like for instance,
Sleepless
like if you
nights
want to
trying to
put
figure
it
it
into
out.
like perspective, like our rent was $2,400. If I'm only bringing in $800 or $900 a paycheck, I'm like, you're not really left with much.
You're not even
after
breaking
I pay
even.
my portion of like
Well,
our
you
rent.
have to feel fulfilled.
That was, like, my
too.
rent at home, not
Otherwise,
rent
it's
at the
like you have to feel fulfilled too, because otherwise, it's like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
It's like I'm doing all this work now, and what am I getting out of it? It's so discouraging to like know what you're capable of doing, and then every month after month, like just be knocked down a peg.
I mean, it
because-
also really takes a toll on like your marriage. I mean, it was like I was a miserable like human when I was
Yeah.
at home. Like I
It's
just was
draining.
stressed
Yeah.
and anxious and just kind of like moody and miserable all the time.
Right.
So, and it's funny. It's not even like anything that she specifically said that was like. So I think it was just she kept repeating, like Alexis kept repeating the same thing over and over about like trying to get me to like leave.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one thing. I think she just kind of was like, why are you doing this to yourself? Like,
Yeah, just being
you
a good
shouldn't
friend.
Be, yeah, like
Like,
she
you
was
don't
just
need
being
to
a
do
good
this.
friend. She was like, you shouldn't be stressing yourself out like this. Like, just come to Privé. Like, I've been trying to get you to come for like 2 years. And I got off the phone with her and I was like, I think this is something I'm really going to consider. And then, but then once I like make that decision, I'm texting her like, can you text Monica? Or like, what should I do? Or like, I know her. Should I like reach out to her? And then she was like, okay, I'm going to just like casually mention it to her.
plant the
And
seed
then,
for you.
I think that's exactly what she said. Like, I'll plant the seed and like, just see
I
what
can
happens.
literally remember this. Like she like popped in the office like, hey, Marissa's probably going to reach out to you. I was
Marissa's
like, all right, sweet, I'm excited.
Marissa's gonna work here. Is that cool?
I felt like she hired me. I'm like,
Literally.
I mean, I wish that it was that
She
easy.
did your
but
onboarding.
Yeah, I'm
she
going to
was-
need an onboarding package.
Yeah.
Where do I get it?
I know, it was so funny. I was like, I mean, I appreciate it. Like, I say to her all the time, like, I'm so grateful that you like pushed me to do this. Like, I wish we worked together a little bit more or less, but it's fine.
Well, I want to mention like just how much of a light you've been in the company. Like, we typically don't hire stylists at Newtown specifically because
Yeah, and I
we're
didn't know
very
that,
busy.
so that's fine. I never would have. You know, if I knew that, I probably never would have
Which
reached
makes
out
me
to you.
so sad. Like, don't ever do that. And anybody who may
Well,
be
I heard-
listening,
yeah, no,
please don't
I-
ever do that because there's certain situations where it makes sense. And you were
Yeah.
one of them. And Mia was one of them. And Mia came in like, I don't know. Both of you came in and just brought this energy that completely shifted the culture in a good way. And that was like a very big lesson for me because I was always resistant and hesitant to hire people. But I feel like what I've seen happen with you two, I couldn't imagine the company without you guys at this point. And that's just like, that feels so good as an
Yeah.
owner. So.
It feels
that
like
feels
you have
good as
been
a
there since
stylist,
day
too.
one. Like,
Yeah.
it really does. It feels like you have been with us for this whole journey.
Well, also, it's like she has like this fresh perspective of like, I just think about sometimes the people who have been with our company from the gate and like that's all they know. Like, it's easy to like nitpick at like certain things that they're annoyed by. But when you have somebody who's like been on the other side and come back to a commissioned salon
Yeah.
and, you know, be appreciative of certain things that, you know, some people might not be
Yeah.
aware of, it's
Yeah.
kind of nice
Yeah.
for the culture.
I will say, like, everyone was like super friendly, like kind of just jumped right in, helped me. Like, Felicia was great. Like,
Love her.
I was
Aw.
constantly like texting her. I'm like, she's probably like, who gave her my number? I feel like I just was like, good question. But no, everyone was like so nice and welcoming, and like I didn't feel like
An outsider.
scared. Yeah, like, and I feel like it just got better like every shift that I worked. Like,
That's great.
and now I feel like it's just normal. You know?
I love that.
Yeah, and like there's going to be, when you're putting yourself into a situation where you're working with lots of women, there's going to be like some drama at some point, but like everyone is so close. Like, I just feel like you get over it and then you're just like close again. You know what I mean?
Ours-
Like, it's almost like sisters. Like, they fight in the back room
Yeah.
sometimes like sisters, and then they're fine.
Literally, that was what I was going to say. I'm like, the drama that happens within our company, if there is drama, it's like sisterly.
Yes.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like, we just had it out.
Who
because-
ate my food?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, do I need to get involved? They're like,
yeah, no, I mean, it's funny
we're
because
fine.
you'll just be sitting there, and 1 minute it's like two people like kind of say something, and then it just stops. Like,
Yeah.
so, like
Yeah.
sisters. Like, it's funny.
It is.
But I mean, that's gonna happen anywhere. But it's just nice to be like in a salon with like other people. I
love that.
I
Yeah.
missed it.
Well, we're so happy to have you. And on that note, I would like to just mention this because I feel like if out in the audience, if there is anybody who's in a suite who may be feeling like Marissa was feeling at certain times, this is like, I would encourage you to just explore your options. You know, if there is that salon that is the bright and shiny thing that's happening in your town and you feel like there's an opportunity for you to, you know, apply and maybe join that salon, go for it. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what, you know, just go for it and be clear about, you know, what you would bring to the table and the experiences that you've had. And I think that in this scenario, I've learned that, like, you came in and you brought such a light and an energy and you shared your experience. And I feel like there was just so much benefit to that. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you.
And I'm a huge, I say it all the time, I'm a huge advocate. Like, if you're not happy, like, you're not stuck. You have options.
Yeah.
You just need to go find them.
Yep.
Whether you're in a salon or a suite, I mean, just find another way out if you have to.
I agree. I mean, I feel like it's, you need to go with your gut. You need to
Yeah.
do what you need to do in
Life's
that
way
moment.
too short.
Yeah.
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 The biggest risk is leaving in the first place. So,
Yeah.
like, all you have to do is kind of lay your cards out. And
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, thank you so much. On that note, thank you for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe, and we will catch you on the second part to our Suite versus Commission Salon series.
Thanks for having me.